Deputy Editor Defense Shiv Arur joins me for more on this story. Shiv, take us through the details of the manhunt for Irshad Ganai.
Well, the information, the photograph of Irshad Ganai, all revealed to us through our sources in the security establishment. Gaurav, the first images of this particular man who's been tracked, for the last 18 months or so. The images that were shot during the Haidarpora ambush, in which 8 Indian Army Jawans were killed as well, thought to be, or at least attributed, to this particular man's planning. 2 people had been arrested following that particular ambush, but this man's name has cropped up recently. He is a resident, he hails from the Avantipora area of Jammu and Kashmir. Several different attacks, our sources in the Jammu and Kashmir police and the army suggest, have been attributed to this particular man, along with two other LET cadres, Shaukat Lone and Dujana Bhai, and the trio actually form a part of a team that lead many attacks, like you just pointed out to our viewers, in Pampore, in Pulwama, in Sopore, other parts of South Kashmir as well, and finally also in May this year, an encounter in Budgam, very close to Srinagar, where one Indian Army Jawan lost his life in that particular encounter, is also believed to have involved Irshad Ganai. So several different attacks are believed to have been planned or masterminded by this particular man. He's not very old, he's just about 25 years old. Okay. Also recruited by the LET sometime around 2010 is the information that we've got in a briefing note that we've been able to access here on Headlines Today, along with that first public picture of that particular man. Shuja has also been able to speak to his sources in the Jammu and Kashmir police, who've confirmed to us individually and through the army that there's a big manhunt for this man who they're calling the most wanted terrorist in the Kashmir Valley at this time.
Okay. Shuja, take us through the details of the manhunt. Where is he suspected to be holed up? What part of North Kashmir or South Kashmir is he in, even as we speak?
Well, Gaurav, this man, as of now, according to my sources, is becoming one of the major headaches for the intelligence and counter-insurgency operation teams in Jammu and Kashmir. That's probably the reason why now the reward money for any information on this person has been increased. A manhunt has been launched, but sources also tell us that he is believed to be a master strategist. He chooses his targets randomly. There is his modus operandi, as of now, nobody can decipher. Even the most strategically placed assets in terms of intelligence have not been able to decipher the precise location, how he operates and which place he moves around. A last close shave that the security forces had with him was in on May 13, when there was an encounter in Budgam, in which one army personnel lost his life, but at that moment also he managed to give a slip to the security forces. We have also been confirmed that at least 3 times he was believed to have been killed in encounters, but later on it proved out that the news was false.
Okay, Pranav, when you look at this bigger picture of what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir at multiple levels, there was violation of ceasefire for 45 days along the international border, not along the line of control, along the international border. You've seen sporadic incidents taking place south of Pir Panjal, especially in that Punch Bimbargali area, the highway for infiltration. You see a series of infiltration attempts happening in North Kashmir in the Kupwara belt. Then you see what's happening, elections in a couple of months now. Just piece together these dots and take our viewers through what is expected to emerge in Jammu and Kashmir, where there's a standoff between India and Pakistan, politically, diplomatically, and there is terror on ground and elections looming large.
See this, if you look at the pattern, it started sometime in last year and now it's continued this year. It's not good. And what it really shows is both the countries have to get together at some point. The channels are not working. There used to be a back channel. I don't think it has still been reactivated. Both countries have to sit down together and really bring this levels of tension down. There are systems, there are forums available. I think the talks today at the local commanders level was the first positive step. But clearly, if this is headed in this direction, it doesn't bode well for J&K. It only accentuates fears and tensions. And in a place like that, if just one incident can just spiral into something which is not desirable.